Proud of our guys for hanging in there. That's a really good basketball team, North Texas. Coach Robinson just does an unbelievable job. He's learned from some greats. Obviously, big success at Cleveland State. They're gonna win a lot of games. It wasn't a thing, I could repeat, I say that all the time. It wasn't very pretty. But the cool thing is we came into halftime and wrote on the board one symbol. It's a symbol that's basically at the nut of everything we're about as Beavers, and I'm not going to share what it was, but our guys responded to it and found a way. And did we get some breaks down the stretch? Yep. But when you play your asses off, when you play together, when you put up the fight, you earn those breaks. And I'm really proud of our group for doing that and taking a big step forward.
Coach Pratt really gets going there towards the end of that game, and obviously the timeout. How much of a factor do you think?
Huge. Our crowd really got into it at the end. I can't wait till they start showing up in earnest. The ones that were there were awesome and loud. We got to get more folks here following this group because it's going to be a special group. It's going to be fun to watch them develop from now until the end. But the ones that were there made a huge impact on the game. We have a decision to make. Do we call a timeout after JoJo used our last one? But I asked Ryan, who keeps track of timeouts, do they have any left? And he said no. I didn't want to give them a chance to draw something up with 3.8, and it worked out to where there was some confusion on their part, and got it across half court, and that happens. We see it happen. The crowd probably had a huge influence on that. I feel for the kid. Told him afterwards that he's too good a player. Let that one go. Learn from it, but. Just the battle was incredible. For a team that hasn't been together very long, for 10 new guys, we kept reminding them in dead balls as we were mounting the comeback. It wasn't time to jack freeze. We do it in practice all the time. We work on time and score. When's the time to just start shooting those? When's the time to just keep attacking? You saw us. We got to the rim. We got fouled. We got to the free throw line. We set up our press. We fouled. They missed. And it was just a clinic from these guys. For this early in the season, to deliver with that kind of stuff, at the end of the game for us. Again, there's 3 games in a row, we have to pull it out in the last minute, and so they're gaining some very valuable knowledge. I'll shut up and let the guys that want to talk.
You've moved to 3-0 now with this, and how much help is playing close at first games like this for building team culture really early?
Why don't you guys take that?
A lot, because you can go back, look at the film, see how it probably could have made a double-digit win. And we always say it's better to learn in victory than defeat. So getting these ones are really, really huge for us too. So yeah.
One thing we challenged them. I've been doing this for a while. There's been years where your team needs a loss for it to sink in. Because what other thing that can happen is you get a false sense of security. It doesn't matter how we play the first 38, we can pull it out. So we've been challenging. We are not going to let you guys learn that lesson from losses. Because we believe in them so much and we think our potential is there. But he just hit it on the head. All the things we work on end of game in practice, until you're there and you get that game simulation, it's hard to really build the confidence and belief in it. And these guys have done it now 3 times in a row. What do you got to say?
I totally agree. I agree. I feel like being 3-0 and having 3 close games, it just gives us experience, and that's what we work on practice. Just end of game or 4-game scrimmages to see how we can react and how we can make the right decision when it's crunch times.
And they don't care about their head coach's heart rate. I know that.
For the 3 really started to fall for you there in the second half, same with Dez. What kind of change that we're giving you guys those looks there?
I feel like don't avoid the post is what got me open threes. Looking for Noah Amenhauser, we were just doubling him, so it was just easy for him to take it out and just find open teammates, either me or Dez, either a couple too. So it feels good to shoot open threes.
That was one of the focal points at halftime. We weren't throwing it in the post enough, and we blame the bigs and we blame the guards. And we had to establish a presence in there, and then we worked on that. You know, they really come low on the baseline hard. Got to get it out of that double team and then spin it and find the open guy. And I was really proud of how unselfish we were with that decision making.
Coach, what second half adjustments did you make in the paint that like shut down their offensive game plan?
We challenged our guys to do a better job in pick and roll coverage because they were getting downhill on us, our hedges, and then the symbols that I drew up on the board challenged their manhood a little bit to keep the ball in front. That was it. And then I think it was the bigger part of it was our guys drawing the line in sand and saying, we're not going to let a team come in here and out tough us and you know, beat us in our house. So credit to these guys for really turning up the intensity.
You know, you got some big boys there, and you had a fast break dunk on many of those you've had, you know, opportunities like that. But now you're getting all these opportunities and you're producing. Just how do you feel like your game is sort of developing through these first 3 games?
Great. I think from the first game it was rebounds. That was like the big thing. I was looking at the rebounds, and I got I think 9 or 10 last game. So you got 6. Still games to get some more offensive rebounds. But it's really just been like a long learning process since like the first day the Stefan came last year. I played with some great players last year that I learned a lot from. And then, you know, good coaches that push me every single day. And I feel like every game I'm just putting something new together, and this is just what I'm trying to do.
And when, you know, years past, you've had guys who maybe when things aren't going well, can just score on their own, create their own shot. We've seen a lot of that so far. Seen more focus on the movement inside. How much time does that take to really develop when you have a whole group of guys?
It's a good question. All of them have been, but it's hard because we still don't know who we are and what you know we have exactly. But we know if we play our butts off, we play for each other, day in and day out, it's going to lead to good things. But you saw some different substitutions. If I had to guess, I would hope early to mid-December we'd have a really good idea of here's our starting group, here's our first few guys off the bench. The neat thing is we've been very open and honest with these guys. Guys are going to get a rotation. What they do with it's on them. If they're successful, they'll get more. If not so much, somebody else gets the next one. And that's just like we've all been saying how much we love each other. Chemistry's great. Well, you better buy into that. And if we get some consistency, then I think we can find that, you know, comfort in our starting lineup and our rotations. But tonight, with 32 points off the bench, we've been waiting for that. And that was a huge part of this win.
As I am curious, your mindset on that, you know, you definitely seem to make the most of your minutes, especially in the second half. Just what's the kind of mindset with that, knowing that it's a lot of in and out, a lot of guys, you know, 10 minutes?
I honestly feel good about it because everybody get the chance to produce and get points and succeed, and so I feel like everybody is able to like step up. Like if you look at like who scored, like everybody almost scored 10 points, so we got like multiple players that can score and help us win. So it was pretty good.
Just one more question for you, Coach. You've had 2-point victory, 3-point victory, a lot of close ones. But what stands out, do you think, the most now in this third game?
The character of this group. You know, we've had years where we have a really good record in close games, 1-possession games. We've had years where last year we lost a lot. Not a lot, but the ones we were in, we didn't have much success. And it's the character and it's the buy-in. Last year, you know, you got one guy trying to hold the ball and make the hero shot at the end. That happened a few times. These guys have learned attack. If you've got an opportunity, take it. If you draw help, trust your teammates. And the trust that these guys have for each other, I think, is a big part of why early this year, you know, this team's pulling those close ones out. Appreciate it. Go Beavs!
Go Beavs!